Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Today I want to take a little time and go through 10 knives in my collection that I consider to be my top primary fixed blade replacement knives. So for example, I'm not carrying a folder, or my folder is not going to be my primary knife. These are EDC fixed blades that are going to be as long almost as my Hinder XM18. They're going to be pretty much suited to carry on a primary task instead of just a backup task or carrying it as like an enhancement to my primary carry. This can be a one and done knife for my EDC. And I do live in a city, so mine's more urban, but the knives I'm going to show you today I think would fit that bill irregardless of where you live. And starting off with USA made Axial knives, Alpine. This is a G10 DLC coated MagnaCut Tanto. These little guys are right around $238, I think. They are, again, USA made. They are made out of MagnaCut and G10. This one's a Tanto. You can get it in different blade shapes. You can get it in a Wharncliffe or a drop point. It does come with the lanyard and the titanium bead. Just an amazing, amazing little knife. So I need to get some cardboard over here. None of these have been sharpened or stropped before this. So this guy is very thin. It's a thin knife, yet it's a very strong knife. So whether I'm cutting packaging, whether I'm cutting rope, whether I'm cutting cloth, whether I'm cutting cardboard, you name it, this little guy is going to be just about fine. So if we're looking at an overall dimension of this knife, because some of them are a little bit smaller, some of them are a little bit larger, but this is going to come in right under 7 inches. So I'm thinking that 6 to 7 inches is going to be the sweet spot. And we're starting out with the full size, in my opinion, or medium sized Axial knives, Alpine Tanto. Comes with a Kydex sheath. All of these either come with a Kydex sheath or a leather sheath, but I carry them all as pocket droppers. This one has a deep concealment carry clip. It goes in the pocket just like that. So if I'm carrying it, I do have the handle exposed. However, the sheath stays in the pocket. So that's one of the, whether you want to call it a downside or not, that's one of the differences in a fixed blade in your pocket versus a folding knife in your pocket. Folding knife in your pocket, you have almost nothing sticking out. Fixed blade, you have a little bit of a handle sticking out, right? I typically carry these in my back pocket, but 6.5 in a dozen. The other, you are going to have more of the knife sticking out in a fixed blade, but you're not going to have the knife close on you or fail when you're using it. Not that this one would either, but that's just two differences in your fixed blades and your folders. So moving on, we come to a knife that's a little bit bigger, but very similar, and it serves the same purpose. It is a great EDC fixed blade. So much that I have a folding knife that is this exact knife. This is the Vero Axon. This is the Vero Axon fixed blade. I have the Vero Axon folder, which if I had it out here, you would see it's exactly the same size as the Vero Axon fixed blade. I use kind of the Hinder as a comparison knife. We can also use the PM2, just to give you an idea. I've got a Benchmade bug out here. I don't want to kill it on size comparisons, but you'll see that all these knives are in that 6 to 7 inch, 7.5 inch range. So the Vero Axon is an absolute banger of a fixed blade. It is thinner than my Vero Axon folder. I've got the folder that is both thicker in blade stock, thicker in handle. This is number 225 from the first run. It is a fantastic little knife. I'm a huge fan of this knife. It's got micarta handles. It's got a belt satin M390 handle. It just works out really, really well. I had a little goo down in my jimping there I was trying to get off. These rust erasers will get finger goo out of your jimps too. Anywho, the bench or the Vero Axon fixed blade is a great one. It is thin. It carries very well. Kydex sheath. I've got the deep concealment clip on this one as well. These are a little harder to show you in a fixed pocket how they work because they do grip really tightly. So this guy, the sheath disappears in the pocket. If I wanted to, I could mount this clip where it would stick up higher, allowing the knife to ride deeper in the pocket. However, it's not as easy to get your thumb on it to draw. So the Vero Axon Fixie is a great one. I carry it as a pocket dropper. It is a little bit more full size. I think it's going to come in over that 7 inches, just slightly. 7 3/4. So this is probably going to be the longest knife in my fixed blade primary carry. But man, is this Wharncliffe blade or sheep's foot blade a slicer. Very, very slicey, very elegant, really nice knife. I think I picked this up for right around $245 or $285. OEM by Benchmade or Best Tech. I really like it. Moving on, we come to a budget version, if you will. This is the Axial Knives Little Buddy. The Little Buddy is a smaller fixed blade that Axial did. Let me get some of that tape off that blade. Axial's known for bringing premium materials to market at more of a value-oriented price. For example, this Little Buddy sells for $115 or $125, one of the two. It's an S90V. It's got canvas micarta handles. It's got a fantastic sharpening choil. It is extremely comfortable. It is slicey as the day is long. It is a very usable drop point size. Comes with a really nice Kydex sheath. You can get it in a couple of different colors. This one's the olive. It comes with this clip. This is one of the best clips from a factory where I didn't have to go in and replace it with an Ulti clip. It doesn't have that tech lock on the back. So this guy mounts in the pocket about that deeply. Allows you to go in. I just hit the camera. Sorry about that. But really easy to draw the knife. And that clip comes out of pocket very well. This knife, again, is coming in around that $115, $120 range. S90V, thin, but yet it's got a thick enough blade to where you can get work done. It's not going to be as thin as the other two we just looked at. It's going to come in right at 7 inches. Dead on 7 inches. This is the Axial Knives Little Buddy. So moving on, we come to another small but highly functional knife. This knife's design is that of what I consider to be an ergonomical just extension to my hand, and that's because of the way my hand's shaped and this forward finger choil works. This is the Viper Knives Mirror 2. The Mirror 2 is a basic little spear point, drop point, with very thin ergonomic handles that get a little thicker towards the back than they are at the front, so it really gives your grip a positive forward-facing grip. A nice crown spine, M390 blade, extremely thin and slicey. And extremely light. I'm a huge fan in these Viper sheaths, or in the straight line sheaths, or in the MKM sheaths. I'll just say the Italian sheaths. They work very well. It is a leather sheath that it's only limited in that you can't really get a good horizontal carry on this. I'm a pocket dropper guy, so this sheath works very well. You just put it in your pocket and you let that lip hang over it. It's going to keep the knife from falling out of your pocket. However, unlike the Ulti clips and unlike the deep concealment carry clips, you just got to give your thumb a little resistance on that sheath when you pull it, because like you saw, that magnet's not going to be strong enough on these pants for me just to pull the knife. So I've learned when I carry any of these on a magnetic sheath that when I just reach into my pocket, I use my thumb, push off right there, and I can draw the knife perfectly. Great little sheath system, nice leather sheath, very strong at the hip here, so you're not going to be poking through it. It's got a little weep hole. It's just done very well. This is the the Viper Knives Mirror 2. So moving on, we come to a knife that is another one of my Axial knives, Alpines, and this is a favorite of mine. This is my Alpine Wharncliffe with a stonewashed Magna Cut blade, titanium handle, the same exact grip and profile as the first one we looked at, the Tanto. This is the Wharncliffe. So this one, the sheep's foot, I'm sorry. So it's going to come in right under 7 inches. It is that same extremely slicey blade stock, like nobody's business. This knife carries like an absolute dream. It is a great carry. It's a great knife. Works very well. Let me clean it up a little bit where it's got some smuts on it. Got a little tape on that bevel there. But yeah, the Axial knives Alpine has what I would consider to be an almost perfect ergonomical grip. It's got a great sheath. They also make this in a drop point, which I don't have. I have the Tanto. I also have the this Wharncliffe. They come in about $235. USA made, Magna Cut. This one's on an ulti-clip, not on a, and I mounted these clips. But this one, if I pull the clip up, it would carry deeper in the pocket. However, I like to mount them right towards the top of the knife. So that one's going to carry in the pocket just about like that. Now the ulti clips, you can use your push-off point, but you don't have to. If I want to just pull this, if it was attached to my pants, I could easily just pull that out of my pocket. That ulti clip's going to hold on. It's a great retention system, whether you carry it in your primary pocket, your right pocket, or your left pocket if you're left-handed, or if, like me, you elect to carry it in your back pocket. The Axial knives, Alpine series, are fantastic in any blade style you choose. I'm a huge fan. Moving on, we come to, and we're getting towards the end here, we come to the Griffin Company Scout 2.5. This little knife is OEM by Bestech. It is going to be on the smaller side of a primary carry. Several of these that are coming up are going to be a little smaller, but they're plenty large enough to fill that void. This one has a very tall blade grind, very, very sharp. It is thin. I can get a full 4-finger grip on it. It does have a lanyard hole. It's going to be smaller than the bug out. Probably going to be closer to that mini bug out size, but still, for a primary carry for me, it's going to carry just fine. Most of the time, I'm not cutting anything over 2 3/4 inches anyway. This guy, you can notice that I've got my ulti clip mounted a little bit higher on this one. That will allow it to ride deeper in the pocket because this one has such a good push off. So I can simply stick this guy in my pocket, lock it down, and that's what you're left with. You got a little of your handle sticking up, not much, and it's just a great way to have a primary knife that you're not having to fold and unfold. And it is very accessible. You can get to them really quickly. The Griffin 2.5 is an S35 VN, carbon fiber, super sliced little knife, very ergonomically pleasing. I'm a big fan. So moving on, we come to probably one of the 2 most robust knives I have in this this little collection. This is one of the bigger ones. This is my Driver Defense Ricochet. This is when I say one of the bigger ones, this has got a thicker handle, more of a full-size handle. It's got a thinner blade or smaller blade. And again, when we're talking about size, it's going to come in much smaller than the bug out. This knife could be an enhancement to your carry, but it's every bit beefy enough to be a primary carry. This knife, I could stick this Magna Cut blade through a car door. There's no question in my mind. This knife will cut anything that I'm going to come into during the day. Whether I need a feather stick to start a fire, whether I need to skin a rabbit to stay alive, whether I need to cut down cardboard, this little Magna Cut blade and this ample, robust G10 handle is going to get it done for me. Has a great sheath. This is a very thick Kydex sheath that has excellent retention. This little knife is going to be closer to that 6-inch range, I think. Right under 6 inches, 5 3/4 with a lanyard hole. If you were going to carry this as a primary carry in your right pocket or in your back pocket, this one's wearing a deep concealment carry clip. You'll notice the difference is I don't have that little clip where I have to clip it down. You just have to kind of work this over the hem. And once you do, it's locked in place. So this knife carries very, very small in your pocket or in your back pocket. Draws very easily and is very much ready to defend your honor if somebody's trying to take your Slurpee or to open that bag of cat food because you need it open quickly. So that is the Driver Defense Custom Ricochet. Fantastic little Magna Cut knife made right here in Alabama. Moving on, we come to another Southeastern made knife, and this is the T.Kell Adversary. This is a wicked little Wharncliffe that's small in stature and length, but it's very big in attitude. It's got a super thick spine that comes down to a robust but pokey tip. Splinter digger that I could easily leave somebody leaking with if they happen to come after my Slurpee. This is a defense knife that's also an EDC knife that's finesse cutter if you're looking to cut cardboard, if you're looking to cut your regular stuff. But if you get yourself in a situation where you need a deterrent, this knife serves as a deterrent. This knife is very much car door, cut through approved. I think you could stick it right through a car door. It's going to be a little bit smaller than the bug out, but not a lot. But it's going to have a much thicker blade spine, thicker handle. So to me, it's a more comfortable carry. It's going to come in right around over 6 inches, 7 inches exactly. So this is a 7-inch knife in a perfect Wharncliffe blade with a sheath that allows you as many different mounting options as you could possibly fancy. I've got it set up because my pants and my fixed blades are usually pocket dropped. Deep concealment carry clip. Carries just like that. More if I want to carry it in my back pocket, you're working with the same profile, in and out of pocket, very easily. I can't tout on these clips enough. I've bought every one of my clips. Nobody sends me clips, but I think I've come to prefer the deep concealment carry over the Ulti-Clip. What you need to do though is look at their website because they've got about 20 different clips that are all real close in size. They've just got different mounting patterns depending on what your sheath's looking like. So they give you more options, but it takes a little longer when you're looking at them. But this is the T.Kell Adversary. It is an absolute winner. Going to one of the smallest in the collection, and the second to the last, this is Big Idea Design Company's Lookout. And this is their Best Tech made Lookout. They also have a USA made Lookout that they make right there in Chattanooga, real close to me, about 45 miles away. This is a small EDC fixed blade. It's going to be right around the size of our mini bug out. You can see that that's the Civivi Baby Banter. It's going to be smaller than the baby, or bigger than the Baby Banter. It's going to be considerably smaller than the bug out. I don't have the mini bug out here, but I'm thinking it's going to split the difference of those two, of the bug out and the mini bug out. Has a great little clip point blade. M390, very, very slicey. And this knife carries great. For a primary knife, this is going to be on the smaller side. Definitely bigger than a 5th carry, but it carries great. Big Idea Design Company is known for doing titanium different gear, and they made this really unique carrying method for this knife where they got this titanium clip. They offer you 2 sheaths with each knife, a right carry and a left carry. You mount the clip right there in the center of either one. I've got mine set up to right hand carry, or if I carry it in my back pocket, it's going to be easy to get it out. But when I go and put this over my hem, it's going to be a little harder because the pants aren't on me. You'll see that this is carrying much deeper So the clip is actually elevated, so I don't have nearly as much of the knife coming out as I do in the others, because the clip, I'll take this off without shaking the table, the clip sticks up about 3/4 of an inch. Fantastic designing. Big Idea Design Company comes up with super cool stuff like that. And this is a great little fixed blade knife that is on the smaller side, but putting this up against a folder, I would take my chances with a smaller fixed blade than a bigger folder, because I know it's going to be full tang, it's going to be durable, and I can abuse it if I need to. Finally, we come to one of my favorite fixed blade knives, one of the ones that was a grail for me for a long time that I finally picked up on a Black Friday sale, and this is my Solage in Germany Boker AK1 daily carry collaboration in RWL 34. It is a small reverse Tanto blade that is so slicey. One of the sliciest knives I've got. And for an EDC knife, for somebody like me who is opening cat food, opening boxes, cutting basic stuff around the city, this is a great knife for that. If I was foraging, if I was out in the woods, if I was doing more hiking type tasks where I was cutting heavier type stock, this knife would be perfect for that. This knife has been tested all around the world as a daily carry option, and it works great. I mean, it's just a fantastic little knife. Comes with this leather sheath and an ulti clip. So this knife set up to be carried as a pocket dropper, which it does so very well. The knife carries with about that much popping out. Very easy to draw the knife, put the knife back in, pop it over your hem when you're ready to take it off. It does grab that hem. So I don't know if you can see how it's grabbing the hem now because it's got that hook. You want that, that's a good thing, but when you're shooting a video and you're just trying to get it off, it does make it a little bit more laborious, but that's part of it. But this is the Boker Daily Carry AK1, one of my favorite overall fixed blades, even though it's made in Germany, not the US. This is 6 3/4 overall, so I think it's a great size. I think it's a fantastic knife. I think all these knives that I've shared with you today are going to have varying price points. I think they all serve a very unique space in that they can very easily be your one and done knife. If you can get by with not having that folder in your pocket, or there's a case where you don't think you need a folder in your pocket, or maybe you're going hiking one day, and I'll be honest with you, I carry a folder in my pocket. I carry these in my back pocket. But I would be 100% comfortable using any of these knives as my one and done, being turned loose in the city or outside of the city, wherever it may be, and feel like I've got a knife that'll get me through my task, right? Might not be the one and done perfect knife, depending on what I put myself through, but it'll definitely cut what I need cut. Guys, those are my top 10. I hope you enjoyed it. All I ask, if you're so inclined, hit that like button. I want to say thank you to all the channel members. I want to say, do me a favor. There'll be a video coming up over there. If you like, watch it. Look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for each other. Go forward with love in your hearts and choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.